Shalom, friends. It's Rabbi Jenny Solomon here at Beth Meyer Synagogue with a Mincha moment. As I take a couple of minutes to sit and just pause in the midst of my day, I am filled with heartbreak. And I imagine that many of you, good humans, people who care deeply about all people, but feel some special connection to the people who live in Israel, Palestine, are feeling an extra measure of heartbreak today as the situation just continues to worsen. Lives lost and still so many suffering with no end in sight. And so first I just want to say I join you. If your heart feels like it's just torn, mine does too. And the second thing that I want to share as sort of perhaps some deep wisdom which is hidden in this week's Torah reading or Haftarah reading, the section from the prophets, I hope will support you as we move through this collective heartbreak. This week's Torah portion is Bechukotai. We have reached the end of the book of Leviticus, and this ending Torah portion actually has a very similar theology to much of the book of Dvarim, of Deuteronomy, a sort of echoing of that theology of reward and punishment. If you do good things, blessings will follow, and of course, if you do bad things, you will be cursed. You will experience punishment in some form. And while sometimes that theology makes sense, sometimes when parenting or just in my own lived experience, I know that when I put love and kindness out in the world, it comes back to me. And the converse is true. That theology doesn't always hold up, at least not for me. And in moments when I witness innocent people on all sides suffering in ways that are so undeserving, I'm left really struggling. In this week's Haftarah, which is the section from the prophets that the ancient rabbis sort of paired with our Torah reading, we read from the book of Jeremiah. And Jeremiah invites us to make ourselves like trees planted by the water with roots that connect to streams. And when we're connected to the water, when our roots can access water, then we will not experience the threat of heat or the impact of drought. And so I'm really holding this wisdom close and in this moment and thinking about how we use our spiritual practice as a way of continually planting ourselves by water and allowing our roots to access the streams that flow from that source of water. Because times like these are just excruciatingly difficult. And I say this from a place of relative calm and safety, of course. But it is the sourcing or the resourcing of myself in my spiritual practice, in prayer, in my community, in connection with loved ones, that does indeed make it possible for me to feel still fresh, capable of doing my work, capable of growing, even when there are great threats all around. So really, it's an invitation to myself, and I extend that invitation to you to make yourself like a tree planted by the water. However you understand water, whatever consists of your sourcing and resourcing, making sure, especially now, that you're planted near the water so that your roots can access those resources so that we can sustain ourselves through these difficult times. Peace. Shalom.